Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. I'm so glad you're here. Now today we've got the cutest set of products here. We've got the Flying Kites 3D embossing folder from the Simon Hurley collection, and it's 3D. It's gorgeous. And we've got the Soaring Sentiments, which is a better press plate and cutting dies that go with it. Flying by to say hi, just enough to lift you up. Lots of fun sentiments that go with it. We also have the Up, Up, and Away die set. It's got these a die for little kids, and it has a kite. And then we've got Fly a Kite, which has 3 different kites in it. And these are all of the products we're going to be working with on today's card, and it's going to be fantastic. So I've done all my die cutting in advance here. I've got a couple of little bodies here. I'm going to make a little girl and a little boy. You get the hair and clothing for both a girl and a boy. And for the hair, you actually get 2 types of hair. For the girl, you can get a single ponytail, and for the second hair, you can get like a double ponytail, almost like 2 little buns on top of her head. And then for the boy, you can get a real good short, kind of an army cut haircut, or you can get a real full head of hair for him. So what I'm doing now is putting the little mouth backer piece in there. You've got a hole cut for the mouth, and then you have a half of a circle for the mouth, and then the other half of the circle is so you can put down the eye color. So when you lay those 2 together, you kind of got a circle from the 2 pieces. And so I've got blue eyes and I've got pink lips, and I'm going to lay this head down on the little area that it goes on. And we're going to get to assembling this little girl. We're going to do the girl first. And I'm showing you, I had 2 different colors of cardstock because I ran out of the one after I cut the bodies out. And it's slightly different on the face, but it's not going to matter because we're going to cover up most of that skin anyway with their clothing, and I don't think it'll be noticeable. So she's got a little dress, and I'm using a little, kind of a little checkered or gingham pattern for her, and then that's the blonde hair that I had cut out for her, but I'm going to go with the brown hair, and we're going to go with the 2 little buns up on top of her head. And this is going to remind me of my little my brown-haired girl. I should have given her brown eyes. I gave her blue, but I have a little brown-haired, brown-eyed girl. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of her with her dark hair. So it's coming together. Now there's still more bits and pieces that I haven't put on here, and I'll keep adding them as I notice the little pieces that are there. And the dog's growling. I'm dog sitting, so if you hear that in the background, that's what it is. I think Bear must think he sees something. So I've got a bow. I thought I had cut 2 of them out because I was planning for that, but evidently I didn't, or I misplaced one when I did my cutting. So I'm going to get some more of that paper, and I'm going to grab the die that has the bow on it, and I'm going to die cut out another bow so that I can have one on each one of her little buns or ponytails, whatever you want to call it. So we'll just get the paper that I used, and we will get this laid down on there. Now, the paper that I'm using for this set is actually not too shabby. It's beautiful pattern paper, and I knew when I saw the dress for the little girl that I wanted to use this paper, and I'm going to use it for my background as well, and it's just gorgeous paper. I will link everything in the description box below so you can check it out, including all the dies and the embossing folder and the press plate and everything. And it's a super cute set. I'm so happy to have this in my collection. And I'm having trouble with my glue, so I'm going to be switching between 2 bottles off and on as we go. And I'm just going to get this other bow laid down on there. It's going to be super, super cute. Now there's a little circle that goes on the center of the bow. And it's just a little tiny little die cut, but it gives you that extra dimension. And I'm going to get it laid down on there. Sometimes the hard part is flipping it to where it's right side up so that you can get it set down on there. There we go. Just cleaning up a little bit of glue. And then we're going to get to, I'm going to give you a quick look at her. Isn't she cute? Now, she has some more pieces that we'll add along the way as I'm putting the little guy together. And I'm grabbing pieces out. I noticed some pieces that I have not yet added to her. It's quite detailed, so there's lots of cute little tiny, teeny tiny bits and pieces that go on these kids. So I'm going to get his little mouth. And so what I did was I just die cut out. The mouth and the eyes are together, so it was good that I was doing two. So I just die cut out the two on the pink, and then because of this really the same size, and then I just took it and die cut out the two on the blue, and then I had two mouth backers and two eye backers, and so I was able to just do it that way. So it was handy that I did two of them at a time. And so I'm going to get his little head laid down, and you can tell his head's a little bit darker than his skin as well. Now I'm remembering that I had two little pink teeny tiny, I mean these are the teeniest, tiniest of die cut pieces that are for her cheeks. And so I'm going to try and get him laid down on there, and I'm going to position him. And so she's going to have two little pink rosy cheeks. Now he has the same spot, the same indentation, but I'm not going to give him the pink cheeks like I gave her. So I'm just looking at my little bits and pieces and trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. I think I was looking for the cheeks. I had one of the pink cheeks in there, but I didn't have the other one, and I was checking to see. I knew I had them all because I made sure I die cut them out, and I counted them when I laid them in there, but static cling maybe. And maybe it was stuck on the back of those shorts. It looked like there was something pink on there now that I'm looking at it. Anyway, so he's going to have some blue check or gingham shorts as well, and he's going to have a coordinating blue t-shirt to go with it, and we'll get it laid down on there. This is going to be a matchy-matchy card because I've got my clothes. They both match, and then their kites match their clothing as well. So we're going to be real matchy-matchy here today. I think it's super cute. So I'm going to lay some glue down here on her dress. There are two little pockets that go on this dress, and I die cut them out in white. I thought that would make a nice contrast on that pattern paper, and we'll get them laid down on there. And she also comes with a little heart, and so I'm going to put a little heart right there on the front of her dress in white as well, and that will add some more decoration to her. Now I'm going to assemble his little hat. He's got one of those little spinner hats. I'm making him a blonde like one of my grandsons, and we'll just put some blonde hair on there. It's really kind of a yellow color. And we'll get that. And it's got a little cutout to go right around his ear. And I'm giving him the short haircut because my daughter keeps my grandson's hair really short, so they always have a military cut. Anyway, I'm assembling the hat. It is a two-layer hat, and then it's got the spinner piece that goes on top of it. And we're just going to, we're going to position it toward I guess what I'm calling the front of the hat. It'll just lay along that edge, and I'm going to get it laid down there and then try to get it lined up. I think I need some glue. And we'll just get it laid down on there. Super cute. And it matches the shorts. There it is. And we're going to put the little spinny piece on there. And we're going to use the blue and white pattern paper for the spinner. So cute. This is such a fun set. Love it. So I pinched it. I'm going to pinch my tweezers on there just to, I gave it a good press with my tweezers so that the glue would adhere. And then I'm going to get it laid down on his head. Super, super cute. Now, I have not put neither one of their shoes on them yet. And I think I'm going to go ahead and assemble my kites, and then I'll realize that I need to add their shoes. And their shoes are teeny tiny. I mean, just so tiny and so cute. So I'm going to start assembling this kite, and I think I grabbed the wrong piece, and I was going to have to change it out, but so we'll grab another one, and we'll get them laid down on there. Trying to make sure I get the right one because I die cut them all out multiple times. Because first I die cut them out, and I thought I wanted to mix and match the colors. So anyway, we'll get them laid down on there. And this set actually has 3 kites. Now the kids set, the set that has the little boy and the little girl in it, it does have a kite in there with it. And then this set, I'm using the kites from the other set for this. I'm using 2 of them. There's actually 3. There's a shaped kite as well that is included in there besides these 2 that I'm using. It almost looks like it kind of looks like a crab to me, or some type of I don't know what it is. Or maybe kind of bird-like or something. But it's a shaped kite. It's like, you've seen those kites on the beach or whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to get this kite laid on its string. And there are like 3 or 4 sizes of strings in there that you can make them. And, some twisty and turny and long, and there's all different. And then there's some extra embellishments, like extra streamers and stuff that you can have flying off of your kite. But I've got enough stuff here. I'm actually going to use the 3 bows on both of my kite strings, and we'll get those laid down there. So I'm going to put 3 dabs of glue on it, and I'll do the same thing on the other one, and we'll have the little bows hanging off of the kite string, and I think it'll be cute. Now later on I will move this, I'll cut this string down and move it up a little bit because it's a little bit long for my A2 size card that I'm using, but definitely make it work. And you could have a lot of fun with these on a 5x7 card as well. Now I'm going to get my other kite assembled, and we're going to do a alternating pattern on it as well with these pieces, these triangle pieces. I've got one little dog snuggled up next to me in the chair, and I've got the other little dog on the back of the couch. And these dogs, they've still got their little green and white collars. They've got a big bow on them, green and white checked, but kind of like that pattern paper there, except it's green and white. They had the collars for St. Patrick's Day, and so they're still wearing their checkered green and white collar with the big bow on them. They're super cute. These dogs are spoiled, I'm telling you. They are really well taken care of. So I've got all of my pieces, I think, laid down here on this now. And this almost kind of looks like the top of an umbrella. It almost looks like. I think you could use that for a beach umbrella on the beach. You could use that on your card for that. So I'm going to lay 3 more bows down here just like I did on the other one. And then this kite will be together. And we got those laid down there. So super cute. Look how cute this is. Is this not adorable or what? Now I'm going to put their shoes on. She has got the cutest little sandals. They're like little slides where she just has the little piece going across the top of her toes, and then the little slides are like just little sandals, little flip-flops, and they're just teeny tiny. So we'll get the other one laid down on there. Just darling. Just trying to get him flat on her feet. Look at that. Is that not cute or what? Oh my goodness. Now he has got some little shoes as well. and they are tiny as well. And they have got the teeniest, tiniest little sliver of a die cut for the soles of these shoes. So I die cut the shoe out in blue, and then I die cut the sole out in white. And it's just the teeniest little sliver that I'm going to lay down on there. So I'm going to put a little strip of glue along the bottom of his shoe, and then I'm going to pick these up, and I'm going to fuss with them to try and get them turned over in the right direction, and then get it laid down on there. And I mean, it's just a sliver, but it really adds to the shoe. Just cleaning up some glue around there. Now look at these. Is that not cute or what? Darling. Oh my goodness. So, so cute. Well, I've got some extra pieces left here, but I'm not going to need them. I just die cut out some extra things, not knowing what I wanted. And I've got my sentiments. I've already die cut them out. I actually forget to bring one in to put on my card. And so I think I'll probably wind up just putting it on the inside anyway, because we've got a lot of... there's not a lot of room on the front of this card after we get everything laid down. So I've got my embossed panel. It's gorgeous. You're not going to see much of it, but I wanted to use it, so I'm going to get it laid down on there. And then we'll bring in another layer of paper for kind of our background panel. And I've got this kind of sky-looking paper that I'm going to use. I think it's just beautiful, and the colors are perfect for all of our elements, and I'm just going to get it laid down on there. And then we'll add our little kids and our kites, and it will be so cute. So I'm going to get my little girl laid down on there. And my little guy, I'll move them because I figure out I need to have one kite in a different area. I'm trying to figure it out right now. I'm like, okay, I could lay it like that, put them all the way down to the bottom. And then I get this one, I'm like, oh, do I want them to cross over? How do I want to do it? And this is when I decide to switch them. So I can put him over there with his kite. And then I can get her in here, and we can get her kite in there. And so cute. Is that darling or what? Love it. So we're going to get all these elements laid down on there. And I think it'll be really cute. I'm pleased to say that our weather is turning for the better right now. It's Indiana. Anything can happen at a moment's notice. But we had a beautiful day. It got up to, I think, in the 70s, and it was sunny, and it was just lovely. So I did sit out on the back patio for a while in the sun and just kind of enjoyed it. It was nice, very nice. So I'm going to get my little guy laid down here now. I got both of them, and we just need to get their kites positioned. His little beanie wasn't laying very flat, so I brought in a real thin dimensional piece there, and I'm going to tuck it in underneath there and help to hold that hat down, give it some stability. And then we've got his kite, and we've got her kite. And I decide I'm going to grab a wobbler for her kite, and I'm going to make it wobble. I grabbed two of them thinking I'm going to wobble them both, but then I decide to just wobble one. But I actually wind up using both of those wobblers because the first one, it wobbled weirdly, and it's like the spring was sprung in it or something. And so off camera, I kind of cut that part out. I took it off and replaced it with the other one, and it laid a little bit nicer. So I'm going to put that on there, and that way we'll have one of them wobbling. Okay, now I'm going to get his laid down on there. I messed with that wobbler quite a bit trying to fix it, and that's why I cut it out, and then I'll cut out where I actually change it. So here I decided that the bows needed to be closer to the top of the kite. So I ripped it off, and I moved it up, and that way we had the bows a little closer to the top of the kite, and the string, he wouldn't have the bows in his hand if I did it this way. And it worked out better for me. And we get it laid down on there. And there, you can see I've replaced the wobbler, and now it's laying a little bit more flat, and it seems to work better than the first one. So I'll get all this junk out of the way and just kind of show you the card. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye now.